wrong. Welcome to the Theatre of the Mind, live number 227. That's 227. Yeah, wrong. We'll get to the parish notes in a moment, but hibiscus all set, double bagger this evening because we're heading into rainy season here in Blighty. So need to look after the warming the cockles, so to speak. So tonight we've got lots to talk about, lots and lots to talk about. Except something really weird's happened to my. Let me just check something. What's that? Okay. And okay. I thought I'd put some other stuff in the Simon. Just wanted to check. Right, we'll do that. Oh. Let me just check something because I don't want to miss it tonight. And I just want to make sure that I've put it into my... Yes. Lovely. We've got some cracking stuff tonight in the sermon. I have to tell you. Cracking stuff. Joymans, Elon Musk, Virginia Giuffre. Oh, I say, it's getting spicier by the day. Good news about Tommy Robinson and that how can we put this? En français, contretemps. Nigel Farage and seemingly Beckham, David Beckham. I mean Beckham watch. They're back in the bloody papers, man. So we'll do that again, and we'll do the Notting Hill Carnival crime numbers. Seemingly climbs down in the Notting Hill Carnival, or is it? Thank you to the anonymous emailer. You know who you are, you utter wrong. And anyway, Neil Cunningham says, good evening, Reverend, and all those in the body of the Kirk is a ginger growler to switch seats and maybe political persuasion at the next election. No, she wants to go in the House of Lords. That's where she's going. Don't matter whether she gets a seat or not. Oh, well, who am I? Ashton-under-Lyne is her current seat. I think you'll find she's reclining in an inflatable. Neil goes on to say, an area with a large Muslim population, Ashton-under-Lyne. An independent candidate would take votes away. Reform could capture the white working class vote, pushing the growler into third place. Oh, I say. Now she's bought a house in Brighton. Is she going to join the Greens and stand in Brighton and Hove or Brighton Pavilion? I think she wants the House of Lords. So you'll find that the accent disappears, Neil. It will. A bit like Prescott. Prescott suddenly was at the dispatch box going, oh, hello, I'm Deputy Prime Minister, and this is what we're going to do. As opposed to, in hell, man. Ah, right, Slugger Prescott. So she'll end up in the House of Lords, I'm sure, once she gets rid of that green faux Manchester accent. Stuart says, evening, Rev. Evening all. Just seen Sister Mary. Looks like she's had a big night out at bingo and some bishop's fingers. I understand from the choir boys, she was offering she was offering Mars bars, and in return she wanted a few sponge fingers. We did say to her that she could have as many bishop's fingers as she wants, but we feel that she's already had enough alcohol for the evening. So to go out and sit out in the cucumber patch and let the fresh air do its magic. So thank you, Stuart. Welcome to the body of the Kirk. Les Griffith says, does Elon Musk know something about Farage that we don't? I wonder too, Les. I doubt he's attacking him without valid reason. Frankly, I stopped trusting Farage a long time ago. He's a Tory through and through. Well, he was at the Tory party conference, wasn't he, last year? Not quite sure why. But I think... Nectar. I do believe this thing in the newspapers today is to kind of flatten Rupert Lowe's listing of the grooming gangs along with Elon. So it's always timing, and it's always timing. So I'm with you, Les. Musk must know something. He's the richest man in the world. He's bound to. But what? Neil says, tonight's sermon will begin with the national anthem. All together now. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. Oh, getting rather deep there, young Mr. Cunningham. Neil also says, update on cabinet musical chairs. Annalise Dodds is distancing herself from Starmer, and Thorsten Bell is now being touted as Reeves' replacement at number 11. That's because the brown stuff's going to hit the fan. And, well, I know that people are going, oh, there's going to be an uprising, there's going to be chaos, there's going to be martial law. Well, no, there's not. No, there's not. Because people are... Look, if they can do it funny and kind of paint potholes and roundabouts with the Templar cross. When I finished the live last night, I've been talking constantly for 2 hours. My throat was quite sore, so I need to look after the voice box with the hibiscus tonight. So I'm going to look after it. Interesting, Neil. Very interesting. Napoleon blown apart. Good evening, parishioners, and spiffing good evening to our Right Reverend Rogan on a mission, Alan. Thank you, Napoleon blown apart. Welcome to the body of the Kirk as ever, and Captain Pugwash. Hello, young Adrian. Are you available for any paid promotional work? I'm not going back on bloody Morning Cloud and sailing with young Edward Heath. I have no idea what you're talking about, Captain Pugwash. I don't do freebies, that's for sure. Hang on, buttons, press buttons. Paulie Galtieri says, good evening, Adrian. Yeah, utter wrong. Hope you had a good day. Well, it's a hump day. I didn't get a hump, but we're over the hump, and it's all downhill to the weekend. Paulie, welcome to the body of the Kirk, young sir. I see you. Les, I wouldn't trust Farage with a coat ticket. I see you. You nearly had me saying something I shouldn't have done, but welcome to the body of the Kirk with Sandra Whittam. Oh, Sandra. Sorry you went out of the Carabao Cup on penalties. We signed 2 players today. Fantastic. When does the window close? Is it 31st of August? Isn't it 31st of August? 30 days has September, April, June, November. All the rest are 31. So, yeah, Sunday. Terry Wookford says, Labour don't plan ahead. Also, she's too working class for Brighton. Brighton. Bizarrely, I went to the nudist beaches in Brighton and didn't see anybody. Story of my life. And it's a flat, not a house. Yes. No. We call them flats in Scotland and the north of England. They call them apartments in Brighton. Yes. But interesting. Yeah, too working class. Andy B. Evening one and all. Andy. Welcome to the body of the Kirk. Young Laird Wookfit, welcome to the body of the Kirk. And Terry, maybe she's a gay icon in Brighton. Oh, getting interesting, I see you. Terry Wookfit says, maybe, but somehow I don't think so. And he holds a goal. Des Ashton says, good evening, one and all. Such a pleasure to await the Revs address us all on the many and varied topical events today, colloquially known as the Global Shit Show. Oh, we've got plenty of that. Plenty of that. I think the Donald is well. I told you weeks ago. Get your bucket of popcorn. He's trying to get the head of the Fed. Head of the Fed. See what I did there? Gone because the Fed doesn't actually is a private company. Terry Wookford says, I doubt it. The flat in Brighton is a financial investment and useful for days away from London is all. Brighton is a green area and growlers not green. She's ginger. So welcome one and all. We've very usefully had a look at the parish notes to see how you are and what's going on. Hang on, what's that? Alison, have you heard about the mass shootings in Minneapolis? Trans nutter. Yes, I have. Was it 3 killed? 3 kids killed. Happened about, I don't know, a couple of hours ago, 90 minutes ago. And, yeah. I mean, what do they do in America? Everybody's got guns. Bands dying is not a good thing by any stretch of the imagination. I just wish that America could support its own. And maybe they will do in the next term, because I'm not sure how long the Donald's going to last as president. Oi, oi, oi. Really not sure. Oh, thank you, Laird Wookfit. They have painted the white stripes on zebra crossings with the red cross of St George all over town. Fantastic, Les. Howdy, Adrian. Howdy, folks, says Charlie Barton. Charlie Barton. Welcome to the Body of the Kirk. And there's your cherry well and truly popped. Transfer season, Monday, 7 p.m. Finishes. 2 small children confirmed dead in Minneapolis shooting. Thank you, Les. Constitution states they have the right to bear arms. Yeah, but nothing really has come good of it, really, unless you go hunting in the deep south. Evening, Rev. Evening, all from Rusty's Roamings. Welcome, Rusty's Roamings. Welcome to the Body of the Kirk. We're getting ever closer to the start of this evening. Remember, the next live is Sunday, same time, 7:15 start for Parish Notes, and then we kind of get stuck into stuff from 7:30. I'll get on to the sermon in just a moment. Andrew James says, heard about the hotel audit who was raided by riot police. I kind of saw that a little earlier. Right to bear arms in the case of tyranny. Mike's Alligators. Good evening, Adrian. What is all this with people in a position of power not making it to the full distance like Trump? Ooh, Mike's Alligators. Tell me more. Topical 69. Mrs. is watching footy. I'd rather drip acid in my eyes for 2 hours. Bless you, Topical 69. Hang on, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Who's playing? It's not Champions League night. Oi, oi, oi. It was, what was it last night? It was Carabao Cup. So they must be stretching it over a couple of nights. But Mike's Alligators, Topical 69, all welcome to the Body of the Kirk. Let's see what we have this evening. I've possibly got a couple of questions, but I might do them on the fly. Sermon tonight, Virginia Giuffre. Paul Mabley, sorry, before I do the sermon, Paul Mabley, we've got the right to bear arms in the UK. We can go out in just a T-shirt anytime we want. Brilliant, Paul. Very funny. Mind you, can you imagine man boobs in a tight T-shirt? Especially at Rook, a pleasure beach. Why do they call it a pleasure beach? Like Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Why do they call it a pleasure beach? What's going on there? Quick one off the wrist for a tenner. Seems like Blackpool. Mike's Alligators. Does the jabby have anything to do with it, Adrian? Sorry, Mike's Alligators. I'm a bit thick tonight because it's... right. Okay. Yeah, the jibber jabber. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But from what I've seen, they're talking about Trump has, he's maybe had a procedure or process or something. I mean, he's an old boy. He's 79. To be fair to him, at 79-year-old, he's knocking everybody else into a cocked hat. Even the youngest can't keep up with him. William Commons. Evening, Adrian. Evening, all. Welcome, William. Good to see you back in the Body of the Kirk again. Not much pleasure in Blackpool these days, says Napoleon blown apart. I tend to agree. Anthony McBain. Evening, Adrian. How are you, mate? I'm Canny. Anthony. Welcome into the Body of the Kirk. Les Griffith says he's having circulation problems. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get the best medical care. So, evening, Fatal Racing Driver. Welcome to the Body of the Kirk. So tonight's sermon, we're going to talk about Virginia Giuffre because there's been developments today. Oh dear. Just to let you know, I don't know whether it's hit the socials yet, but Tommy Robinson is not to be charged. You know, the little contretemps in St Pancras, where he just, told somebody to go away and stop. It seemingly they must have had CCTV, as I said they would, because there's CCTV everywhere in St Pancras, everywhere. So, Stuart, yeah, he's got the best care. So, Tommy's off with it. Can you remember the mainstream media? Oh, bloody hell, bloody hell, bloody hell. Hang 'em, hang 'em, hang 'em. Metaphorically, of course. But evening English bottle cap, welcome to the body of the Kirk. And they were at Tommy. And to give Stephen Yaxley Lennon any credit whatsoever, he knows that he can't. And normally he was going to an interview. At the interview, he had a nick on his forehead. So some idiot has just decided to be stupid and silly. And Tommy, quite rightly, has defended himself proportionately and appropriately. And now we learn there's not to be any charges because the CCTV must show. And the defence would have to have a copy of that. So Les Griffith says they'll fit Tommy up for something else. I've seen Silver Fox Hot Takes TR video about the charges being dropped. Yes, Stuart, I got an alert earlier. I mean, you know what the game is at YouTube. The reason why I bring everything to my lives is because YouTubers are just like, first, gotta be first, gotta be first, gotta be first. I don't. What's happened with Silver Fox Hot Takes? Was he arrested? Was he charged? Well, technically, if he's been charged, we can't talk about it. But English Bottle Cap, the person who attacked Tommy Robinson should be facing charges. Hope so. Even if it was verbal, it still could be an assault. Talk 69. They still ain't. They still are making out he was at fault because, say, not enough evidence to convict him. Oi, 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 cheeky feckers. So we'll do a bit of Virginia Giuffre. Justice is seen to be done with Tommy. It's not down to CCTV. He didn't get charged because the person refused to make a statement. Interesting. But from what I know in law, even if anybody involved in it refusing to make a statement, you can still charge someone if you've got enough corroborative evidence. Okay, Napoleon blown apart. Yeah. I'll do my best. So if he's not being charged, he was arrested but not charged. Nikki Watson, welcome back to the body of the Kirk. Yeah, wrong. Hope everything's okay. Hope you're well. Soul Rebel, evening guys. Evening Soul Rebel. Late again. Yeah, wrongin'. But I just want to wish Tommy well because A, he's making plenty of money. B, they'll fit him up with something else. But now that he's got Elon backing him and the Israelites it'll be no less. Two fairly well-known YouTubers outed as nonsense. Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of them on YouTube. Plenty. YouTube algorithms are ruthless tonight. Thank you, Rusty Roamings, for alerting me. Terry Wookfoot, maybe because there was no corroborating evidence and the person probably refused to make a statement because he was in the wrong and would self-incriminate. Yeah, there's all that. But you would... Well, okay, well, we'll just wish Tommy well and leave it at that. Because it's like anybody that is being fitted up. Oh, Nikki, I do hope you're a lot better today. There is a lot of... Nikki said, I'm doing better today than I was yesterday. Oh, Huey! Okay, Soul Rebel. Yeah, you'll get lines and a spanking. I think Sister Mary quite enjoys that. With her butter paddle. I shall stay behind after to see Sister Mary age. All right, Soul Rebel, done, deal. So again, when it's appropriate, I will tell you what I know. In any given situation, in any given subject. But I know stuff. And when it comes out, it will make your hair curl. English Bottle Cap. Police discretion. The police have the discretion to investigate incidents of assault even if the victim does not wish to pursue charges. That's what I was trying to say, English Bottle Cap. They may take action based on evidence or witness statements. Oh, interesting, Andrew James. Napoleon Bonaparte, the left are severely unhappy that Tommy isn't charged. Of course they are. I don't... The thing that as I was getting the show together today and trying to think of stuff that we could talk about as adults tonight, and I thought, it's kind of... All of a sudden, it's like a non-news day. There's not really anything. I mean, if you want to talk David Beckham, yeah, the Beckhams are back in the paper. I mean, it's just nauseous and ad nauseum. Okay, so I thought there's absolutely nothing happening today. Just, can you not feel the calm before the storm? Now, I know there's a court case going on Friday. I'll tell you more about that Friday, because I'll get it from the horse's mouth. Get it, Andy B. Ah, really? Anybody been arrested or charged, Les? Don't mention any names. English bottle cap Dundee cake. Yeah, yes. It's a sad state of affairs when this country can't protect their kids. Just saying. Generally. Stuart says, what's your thoughts on Lucy Connolly? So, you know my take, and I've been telling you since the beginning of this channel, that the way the media works is that... I say. See, I'm being distracted now. Des Ashton says, I love the code, Des. Giswell Maxwell names Killary as a big name in her frame. Well, we've all... HRC. We'll just use HRC. YouTube censoring a lot. I get it. Okay. Well, you're going to have to use code. I mean, I got it with Des's little missive, and Napoleon Bonaparte saying there are new citizen journos popping up in their hundreds, good or bad. The problem is they've not had any legal training. The journos can get away with stuff. And the reason why is because they've had extensive legal training. That's part of their job, obviously, to know what or not to write. God, listen, I could literally sit here without doing the sermon. I could sit here, just respond to your comments all night and talk about stuff. So, citizen journalists, it's about the Benjamins. It's about the likes, the clicks, the subs. I'm not a fan of anybody that doesn't know what they're doing, because, as has been proven, people end up in the shite, and I don't want people ending up in the shite, and it's just going to get worse. The restrictions are going to get tighter. So some of them are very, very good, very, very good, like Charlie Veach. He's now the new shock jock, although Charlie's getting to a point where it's the same old, same old. Les, no. Okay, interesting. The Cower woman is the biggest race baiter in history. I'm with you, Neil. I am with you. There are certain people that the minute I see them spouting off, I just switch off. I'm not going to be engaged by that woman at all, in any way, shape or form. She's just... I'm a Geordie, and that's bad enough. That's the starting point for me. It doesn't matter what comes out of her gob. She's a... Well, she's not. Is she a Geordie? Well, yeah, I think she was born in she wasn't born in Newcastle. She might have been born somewhere posh in Newcastle. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan. She's neither intelligent, in my view, and as a broadcaster of 40-odd years, I know the difference. As a late-night talk show host and a lunchtime talk show host, I know the difference between intelligent broadcasters and not. So, for me, Cower, she can do whatever she wants. But the country's finding her out, easily. Nick says, David Blunkett has agreed that we need to leave the European Convention for Human Rights. I'll tell you this. It's a double-edged sword, the European Convention for Human Rights, because it's stopping the parasitical classes and the political classes from absolutely mullering us. Because if we didn't have any protections, we do have from, was it 1998? So it's about 27 years old. The European Working Time Directive, which meant that anyone that's under contract, like a full-time contract, like a full-time freelance contract, they are allowed 20 days paid holiday per year. And that only came in 1998. I gave a particular company an absolute shoe-in over that, and they ended up spending millions. They weren't happy with me at all. But look, it's on the statute. But then you look at the European Convention for Human Rights. Human rights has always been bandied about, but we don't know what it would be replaced by. So be careful. Any politicians that's a politician or political class, or the parasitical class, they're talking about doing away with the European Convention for Human Rights. Dangerous, very dangerous, because then you wouldn't have any rights. They'll want to get rid of the Working Time Directive because, well, we're not in Europe anymore. Yes, of course we're in bloody Europe. You just think that because there was Brexit in 2016 that we're not in Europe. Either way, and shite, man. Starmer has got us back into Europe via the back door because we know he's a fan of the back door. Judging by the way he got us back into Europe, because that's what we are. And just remember, it's never about for the benefit of the electorate or the people within that particular locale. It's all about politicians making money. The moolah, the Benjamins, the money, the pund. It's all about that. Politicians are not there for the benefit of you, me, or anybody else. They're there for the benefit of themselves, so if they can get rid of the European Working Time Directive, and which is on our statute books, and the European Convention for Human Rights, you'll be working for 0-hour contracts, and you won't give a flying. Remember, I mean, Farage is not part of the young leaders that go to the World Economic Forum, but you will be told you'll own nout and be happy. And that's why they need to get rid of the European Convention for Human Rights. And David Blunkett, I wish he just would foxtrot Oscar. He's had his time. He's had his moment. Go away and take your fucking dog with you. I mean, there's a man that can't be trusted in any way, shape or form. He was shagging behind his missus's back. Can you trust a man that has his wicked end away with somebody else whilst his partner's at home? No, absolutely, categorically not. And there's Trump. And somebody says you can't trust a man that's doing the dirty on his missus as a politician because he'll do the dirty on everybody else. So David Blunkett, in my view, needs to foxtrot Oscar. Hadaway and shite, man. We're not interested. You're a has-been. Either get into the House of Lords, or maybe that's what you're trying to do, or just leave us alone. We're innocents abroad. Just leave us. You had your go. You're not having your go. Take your dog with you. Bye. Starmer's come over a little queer again. Has he really, Mephistopheles? It must be something in the... it must be the preceding the clouds. Des Ashton says, our rights and freedoms ought to be in the care of a sheriff from the Anglo-Saxon Shire Reef. Look it up. Well, they wouldn't dare do that. Wouldn't dare. Owing to his eyesight, Blunkett was poking on... funny now. So much stuff would go unreported if it wasn't for citizen journalists. Can't trust... mum anymore. Well, not necessarily citizen journalists, because there's nobody really doing any deep dives, but X. Can you imagine if we didn't have Twitter, X, whatever it's called, if we didn't have that to be able to freely express ourselves? Because there are laws in this country where you technically can't do that. Or MSM, thank you. We wouldn't have any free speech whatsoever. So we've got to thank Elon Musk for that. Just getting us to a point where we're able to say things and have adult conversations without the political parties or the government or anybody else absolutely bending us over and rogering us senseless. I see you said someone I know used the EHCR to sue the council for outstanding pay owed to him. Leap year calculations meant he was shortchanged in his monthly pay. He only got 160 quid. Imagine if everyone did this. I agree. I completely agree. But the Soul Rebel says, anybody watched the BBC historical Norman invasion? Never knew. What? The Normans? or King Billy. Right, let's get into this sermon, because I know you're fancying yourself as a bit of chatters. David Blunkett has got to take his dog with him. I hope so. Torba was forced to withdraw. Not sure what that is. Can't work it out. Oh, it'll be something that we can't. Torba was forced to withdraw Gab from the UK because of the British government lawfare against it. Cuban Pete says, can they still do you if you say something controversial on X, though? Now, interestingly, the police would judge something as cyber-enabled. And if it's on the servers on X, then the American Constitution applies. So you can kind of still say it, and they can't do you. But if you're in the UK and saying it, and it's cyber-enabled, there's every chance that you can get done in this country. God bless social media site. Oh, right, okay, thank you, Les. Thank you. So, Virginia Giuffre, we're going to talk about Israel. It's, it's awfully quiet. But I'm going to tell you what's going on, because it's not being reported anywhere. I mean, I'm pointing down there because that's where my papers are, as in newspapers, mainstream media. It's not being reported anywhere. So you know I'm going to tell you. We'll talk about Elon Musk and Nigel Farage. Oh, it's code 8 for our ethnic ancestors. Didn't realise me great could have come from Africa. What, they reckon that humankind started in Africa? Man started in Africa? I think you'll find it started in Turkey, not Africa. Because the Garden of Eden technically is in Turkey, if you believe the Bible. We'll talk about Farage and Musk. I saw somebody posted a picture. Now, this is kind of about me, but and I don't mean it to be, but I do kind of. Can you remember an actress from The Champions? Can you remember a lady called Alexandra Bastido? And somebody posted this picture. I mean, she was breathtaking when I was, 5-6 year old. Can you remember The Champions from the 60s? They had these in Tibet. They had a plane crash, and they suddenly woke up from this plane crash, and they had all this. They had telepathy, and they could jump high, and it was like the $6 Million Man before the $6 Million Man, but 10 years earlier. Oh yeah, absolutely, Terry. So I thought, oh, let's get Alexandra Bastido on the channel. She died, sadly, but cool, blimey. I mean, not to judge anyone simply because of their looks, but for a young guy in Sunderland watching that, I mean, I loved The Champions, the TV show, loved it. Department S, Jason King, loved all that. They were great times on TV and in stuff that we could watch and not get told, oh, you can't watch that. No, it's not work. No, Gary Chabot, you're wrong. I met her in Hove. I was doing some work for a mum and dad. Very pleasant back in the 80s. Oy. Sharon McCready, Terry Wookfit, man, stop it. I'm not going to be able to concentrate. She moved things and I didn't know I had. I'm with you, Soul Rebel. I think the whole, the young chaps, I mean, not to be sort of, isolationist. The girls will have had their own teenage crush. But Alexander Bastido was, hang on. Jason King was a baldy. No, he wasn't, Albert Medcalf. Jason King. Richard Gaunt, Stuart Damon, and the very lush Bastido. I know, they were all... And wasn't it Stuart Damon that... I saw him on a telly once, and he sang a song, and I was like, oh, he can sing. He can jump from high places, and he can think what Alexander Bastido's thinking, and they can communicate. Remember that little bit of music in the background? They can think the same things. Was it a wig? Blimey. Margaret Rutherford as Miss Marple. Les, you pervert. Andrew James, Jason King liked he did, of course. Yes, he got caught, didn't he? Bit like George Michael. I'm not going to do my George Michael gags. You've heard it a million times. Was William Gaunt? Not We Are the Champions, not Queen, man. English bottle cap, but Terry Woodford, that's actually very funny, was William Gaunt. He was certainly thin. But so this picture of Alexander Bastido just appeared on my Twitter feed, and I was like, oh, takes me right back to my youth. He was a bit overdone. Karina Jane, I like George Michael. All right, Karina, I'll tell you this joke because it's one of my favourite gags in the world ever. But you've heard it a million times from me, so just, roll your eyes and tut. It'll work, I promise you. What do George Michael and a Wellington boot have in common? They both get sucked off in bogs. So, right, okay. That was still a good gag, though, Laird Wookfit. Jenny Handley, Magpie, Alan Little. We'll just sit there for hours on end because it was a bit like Charlie What's-Her-Face in the gardening program. My dad, the old pervert, Charlie What's-Her-Face, he he just used to sit and watch it simply because, without being chapel hat pegs. I can't even remember what it was called. Charlie Dimmick, thank you, Alison. Nearly done. Porter in the Protectors. Ooh, right, okay. Dimmick, Dandy Nichols in Afghan. Oh, Dan. Oh, now you're talking, Les. So, teenage crushes. We can kind of have a running theme, I think, tonight. I'm going to tell you more about Travis Kelce. Seemingly, he's been fingering Taylor Swift's ring today. I hope they're both very, very happy. Going to do Beckham watch because it's just a daily inconvenience. Ed Millipede, what a gonk. Absolute clown and a gonk. He's back out again. Well, not out, but he's just, this is the politician that knifed his brother so he could get the top job. This is the politician that went to the unions and knifed his brother so he could have the top job. Nice guy. I'm going to talk about, thank you to the anonymous emailer. Thank you to, we'll talk about the crime down at Notting Hill Carnival. Is it down? Or is it? I'm going to tell you. We've got a bit of Americano tonight. We're going to talk about Trump and the Democrats. What are the Democrats up to? I'm going to tell you. We'll have the begging politicians, and Elon Musk is making a bold move. The Germans, they're neuked. If you can speak German, you know what I've just said. I can't. Well, that's the only way I'm going to get it around the YouTube algorithm. Top of 69, definitely Kim Wilde. She's the reason I've got bad wrists now. Bless you. Have you got repetitive strain injury? Top of 69. And fake meat. I know. So we'll talk about that tonight. And we spent far too long just being frivolous and talking about, things that got us through puberty. So I can tell you tonight that the nonsense are getting it. Or Lindsay DePaul, Kate Bush, unashamed, says Napoleon blown apart. I'm with you for Lindsay DePaul. Kate, not the recent version though. Top of 69. Yeah, we've done that. Democrats are in damage limitation mode at the moment, trying to find options for the next presidential election. They haven't got one. But let's talk about the nonsense are getting it. What do you mean, Adrian? Well, Virginia Giuffre's book. Well, what can I say? We know that Ponce Andrew has a penchant for little fluffy things. Make your own gags up. Because we are told there's Polaroids from the Royal Protection Squad. There's Polaroids, and you have to put the teddy bears back in the same place that they were taken from when making his bed. But seemingly, Nobody's Girl is Virginia Giuffre's new book. Now, yesterday, it was released that Henry Kissinger, that very famous Jewish American, he was a bit of a wrong 'un. So Virginia Giuffre told, it's in the book, about Kissinger being a nonce, and I can say that because he's dead. Albert Metcalf, are you sitting comfortably? Then Adrian will begin. As long as you've got your piles cushions, because I know those Starmers, the pews, are a bit rough on your derriere. So she reckons, the book reckons, because Virginia Giuffre's not around, obviously, but this book, Nobody's Girl, contains a claim that Prince Andrew assaulted her with a puppet. something furry that he had in his hand. Not quite sure what kind of puppet, but it was a puppet, seemingly. It's a puppet! So the memoir by one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, who died earlier this year, is set to hit the shelves within months. It's actually October 21st. And I want you to listen to what I'm going to do, because thank you to, again, the Cummy Bears. I want you to pay attention, because I'm about to give you kind of 5D chess. And thank you to the anonymous emailer that sent it over. It was fantastic. So I'm going to take you through this layer by layer, as I always do, but I'm going to give you information that you'll be telling everybody tomorrow. So the book's going to be published on October 21st. Not that far away. Well, 7-8 weeks or so. Obviously, Prince Andrew, he's disappeared. I mean, is he still at Balmoral? Is he still in a different country? Where is he? The wrong one. So Virginia Giuffre, as we know, was found dead at her home in Australia in April. And she spent the last few years of her life working on the book, calling it Nobody's Girl. So, look, Andrew the Oaf is going to be sacrificed, in my view, on the altar to save other powerful shaggers. Because, look, he's not bright. He had the protection of the royal bloodline and the Queen, and maybe he's got the protection of Charles the Weak, although Charles the Weak's too busy painting to be bothered by any of this. But this new claim that Prince Andrew assaulted Virginia Roberts with a puppet. It's going to be interesting. And are you aware that there are more Epstein survivors that are going to hold a news conference next week, September 3rd? Survivors of abuse by Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell are planning to hold a news conference September 3rd. As a couple of American politicians first announced in August with 11 social media posts that these survivors were getting together to be able to talk, to be able to... Now, look, call me a cynical old tart. I don't know whether it's the timing. We know that Virginia Giuffre was kind of like out there on the leading the charge. But are they all trying to make a bit of money? Neil Cunningham. Did Prince Andrew borrow emu from his sister-in-law? I see you. What a circus. Tablock Tracy. Was the puppet called Mr. Wobbly Hides His Helmet? No, Mr. Wobbly Hides His Hat. Tablock Tracy. Ian McGee. Evening Wrong'uns. Late again. You tart. And I think they're stepping forward to maintain the momentum. And if they know that Virginia's book is going to be released in October, but why October 1st? I'm going to tell you in a second. So there's been more social media posts. A couple of American politicians are saying that they're going to speak at the event on September 3rd about their co-sponsored bill to release the so-called Epstein files. I'm sure some will be released. I don't think all of it, because the FBI, they talked about 8 terabytes of information, videos and photographs and everything. But are you aware of the missing 2 minutes from Epstein's cell footage regarding the suicide? 2 whole minutes. That's enough to go, here, Jeff, come here. Just quick, out the way. Camera's watching. Buff, off you go. And we'll pick you up and we'll take you to Little St. James. But what you're not aware of is that during Ghislaine Maxwell's recent testimony, 1 minute is missing from the committee transcript. So the CCTV cell footage, there's 2 minutes missing, and in her testimony, Ghislaine Maxwell's recent testimony, 1 minute is missing from the committee's transcript. Now, is it her confirming HRC, and I told you what that is earlier, conducted child sacrifices? Unless it's a cover-up, and they've got him out, and she knows something, so she doesn't want that getting out, and they just kind of go, oh, the conspiracy theorists, just tell them it was Hillary. So there is supposedly a pre-redacted copy in the hands of Anon activists. I do hope the anonymous emailer has managed to track that down. But regardless of content, it is still mystifying as to why they felt any redaction was necessary. He's dead. She's banged up, banged in. But if Epstein isn't dead, Giuffre might not be also. High-level games at play, do you think? Because people are pointing out that she must have been a bit mad because she had a little dunch in her car with an American bus and there was hardly any damage. But was she just alerting people to what was going to happen? She suddenly had profile and then she disappeared. Because we never saw the body. Do we even know where she got buried? So Virginia Giuffre's memoir is going to be published on October 21st. But if you know about QAnon, post 4923, now we're getting really, really deep with this. Really deep. You will not absolutely, categorically hear about this anywhere else. You won't see it in the mainstream media, telly, radio, or newspapers. But QAnon's post on numbered 4923 was actually posted on October 21st, 2020. And within that post, October 21st, 2020, I've told you they're going to publish a memoir. A bit random why they're going to do it on October 21st. Listen, QAnon, who they reckon could be Trump. Dearest Virginia, we stand with you, now and always. Find peace through prayer. Never give up the good fight. God bless you. Q. So the respective dates, that was QAnon post 4923. It was posted October 21st, 2020. And 5 years later, her biography, her memoir, is going to be published. Coincidence? No. There's no such thing as a coincidence with Q. Nothing is as it seems. Mark my words. She didn't just die. She released a social media post just after the crash saying she had days left to live. That was to get her kids to contact her. When a scam was outed, she said it was a mistake. I get it, Terry. I do get it. But what we're talking about here is very... I mean, it's not somebody that's rich with a few million. And Andrew James, I thought QAnon was created by the CIA. Nick says, since joining the body of the Kirk, I realised there are things going on we could never imagine. Correct. But I've seen the video of Epstein after he was Epsteined. And he's alive on Little St. James. And he's looking up at the drone going, oh, shit, man. Didn't run off. What was he going to do? So Giuffre, no body, no corroborative evidence. The family haven't said anything where she was buried, how she was buried, the funeral. It wasn't covered by mainstream media. So I look, I agree with you. I am a cynical old tart, so I tend to agree with you, Terry. But there's just something niggling me. I don't know what it is, but there's just something niggling me that it's not as it seems. Now, unless it's a witness protection program, unless she thought she was in mortal danger and she had to go and be part of the process, the witness protection plan, and Epstein was far too valuable to the Israelis in the American government. Far too important and valuable. So maybe they just got him out of there. Because look what's happened. Everybody's like, oh, he's dead. He's dead. Forgotten about. Into South America, get some plastic surgery done. I mean, there were heads of countries that knew that could get into South America, get some plastic surgery, and people would go, does that look like Hitler? No, can't tell. He's not got a mustache. If you think about it, Hitler went and lived his life through into the mid-60s. Fathered 2 daughters in Chile, Peru, Bolivia, Argentina. Yeah, Terry says she has. Hang on, hold on, though. According to all the people that know, she was a multimillionaire. She's got 12 million of off Andy, my arse. Might not have been. It was $18 million, not 12 million of our pound notes, obviously. Terry continues. She's been through a lot, poor lass. Wasn't in full control of her faculties. She topped herself when she realised she'd driven her kids away. You see, on the one hand, I kind of go with that, Terry, but on the other, I'm thinking there's just shit flying now. And Andy, you can't touch him. Can't touch him. She got less than 4 million if she got anywhere near that. Rusty Roamings. All that money didn't bring her happiness, though, did it? Napoleon blown apart. His Manhattan house was originally a Jewish school, often owned by prominent Jews. Oh, yeah, look. Nobody's asking about the synagogue in New York, where they found all these tunnels underneath, and they found these stained mattresses. And then the Jews blocked them all up. What's going on there, then? I know what's going on there. I can't say it here. And that was just swept under the carpet, or swept under the tunnels, whichever one you want. I'm not suggesting this is thus, but no, I won't. It's too dangerous. But you know, as Killary will tell you, if you ever have a dry martini with her, there's hundreds of thousands of children go missing every year in America. I wonder why they go missing. Do they kind of pack their bags and go, right, I'm off? Bloody hell, man! You don't even feed me, are you? You tarts! I'm off. My name's Dick Whittington. Turn again, Dick Whittington. Come back to London, man. Is that what the kids are saying? Or are they being stolen off the streets for adrenochrome for the elites? And now, even though for years, and I've hinted at this on my radio shows and got away with it, we are controlled by elite paedophiles. And the reason why I'm going to talk about Trump and the Democrats in America is that right there. Trump's not holding back. If he can last long enough, and I wish him long life and very good health. If he lasts long enough, he's going to have Obama locked up in jail. He's going to have other people locked up in jail that I shan't, for varying reasons, mostly legal, shan't even give you the names of. And in this country, we've all heard the names. We've all heard the stories of the elites doing what they did. Phil Levant, Rolf Harris painted the Queen. Charles was Jimmy's mate. It wouldn't surprise me if Gary Glitter was the keeper of the stool. Vixtex and trafficking body parts. I don't trust doctors anyway. As far as I can spit them. But that's, again, another subject. But we have all of this going on in the world. And the thing is, we all know. But people that start giving it that disappear. Don't know where he's gone. Maybe he was unhappy at home. We have people that are eminent end up in cars committing suicide, according to the official report. So let's kind of dovetail into Nigel Farage. So, Lauren Taylor agreed. Of course she did. He was the one marred, spoilt child who turned into an egotistical megalomaniac who thought he was above the law. Let's talk about Nigel Farage. Now, my cynicism isn't sort of banging Nigel into a box, because the only way that the elites and the parasitical classes allow someone to become head of a party, Yeah, Nick. Well, I've said it many times. That's why I mentioned it earlier when Captain Pugwash asked me a random question. I said I'm not going on fucking Morning Cloud again with Edward Heath, and that's exactly what you talked about. Not forgetting Heath's nighttime boat trips in the Channel. Yeah, Rent Boys disappeared. Manda Sky. I don't know how I've managed to keep my sanity after all the years of seeing what's going on. Phil Levan, that's literally made me roar with laughter. So Phil Levan's asking a quiz question tonight. Not that we're having a quiz, but the quiz question. Which king had the most kids? Jonathan. Paul West, that's also very funny. Killery's new film, Enemy at the Pizzagate. So I'm going to ask you a question. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Nigel Farage, do you still trust him? 1 for yes, 2 for no. I just want to find out how the body of the Kirk is leaning at the moment. Is it very pro-reform? Is it very pro-Farage? Or does it have a little cynicism built into it? Do you trust Nigel Farage? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Agincourt. But you see, there's more 2s than 1. Napoleon Bonaparte makes a very good point. I trust Habib more than Farage. Terry Wookford, 2. Never did trust him. Never trust a politician. How can you tell when a politician's lying? Their lips move. Scroll up to my comment, Adrian. Hang on, top of 69. What you said now? Linda Lewis? Not the Linda Lewis, surely. Ray Hart, 2. Control Alt Delete. Good to see you in the body of the Kirk. 2. Catwoman Jones, 2. Let's hang on a second. Where are we? I'm looking for top of 69. Is this going to take me all night? Topper, you're wrong. 2. All right, I've got that one. You must have cracked a funny, and you must have thought that it was a fairly decent funny. Top 69, I can't find it, man. Repost it. It'll be quicker for everybody and more entertaining. Mike's Alligators, trust none of them. Don't trust anyone in politics anymore, says Nick. Dale Steele, do you think he's the ideal person? No, but I trust him enough to do what he says. He's always been right thinking since he was young. Very good point, Dale. Very good point. But if I'm worried about the NHS, and I know that Labour and the Tories, Lib Dems are just a sideshow. They know that Farage is going to win the next general election. They know that. They know that. They know that. Sat a bloody lot, says Albert Metcalf. I agree with you. But I think Neil Cunningham also kind of has the zeitgeist too, but he will get my vote to work it right up Starmer. So we know. Right, okay, I'm going to ask you another question. Will you ever vote for Starmer or the Labour Party again? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Not going to judge, just want to see where the body of the Kirk sits with all of this tonight. He's saying what people want to hear. That's suspicious. You see, there is also that side of the coin. So, will you ever trust Starmer and the Labour Party ever again? Hell no. I think Farage is also flawed. It's 2. Amalia Glassey's laughing her head off. People are short of memory. UKIP 2019, he pulled key candidates and effectively handed the keys to Boris. Interesting. Gary Shabbat might do. Nathan Diamond, 2. No, I've never voted for them in the past. So, I'll tell you what will happen when we get there to actually putting the cross in the box. People will be worried that, I mean, I know the old ones, literally those that have gone before us, don't give a flying. They're just like, get rid of these scum-sucking pond life. Get rid of the Labour Party. They're not the Labour Party anymore. And by then we'll have, you know, Jeremy Corbyn, JC, and Sarah Sultana with some party part face. And they will take the left voters, and Farage and Reform will take maybe the Blair kind of New Labour, right of New Labour. The Tories are done. They're finished. They're over. They can't even pick a decent leader. She's trying her best, but she's just simply Kemi, not good enough. Alan Little says Beckham was good at putting a cross in the box. Brilliant. Get him to vote for us, though. Andrew James Farage never attended a hustings in Thanet when he was running for MP. And maybe he's learned his lesson. Gary Shabbat. No, it was cleaning my glasses and pushed the wrong button. Yeah, wrongin', man. I'd never vote for Labour. Ever, never, have, never, will be Habib for Prime Minister. So it's all this kind of infighting. But there's Rupert Lowe. And the reason why I kind of wanted to mention this is not to sort of major on politics tonight, but it's to talk about actually the options that we've got. The political process is done, finished, broken. We have a political system that's corrupted by the money and the power and other very dark things. So people are just, what they're after is actually politicians with a bit of integrity. And you can see, look, there are very notable people in social media that you can tell they want a political career. Why? You want to go into a shark's pool and you're not the biggest shark? Clever, obviously. But so it's the power to make change for your own benefit. Napoleon Bonaparte says, I'm concerned that all the right parties will split and they will let Labour in again. That's what the parasitical classes are hoping, that maybe 20% go out and vote. Alan says, Farage hasn't effed anything up yet. But for me, I would bring a law into this country to make it law that everybody has to vote. Everybody of voting age, not the bloody 16-year-olds, man. Jesus. They're still wet behind the ear and they're firing titty water, as it's known in North East. They don't even know whether they're Arthur or Martha at 16-year-old at the moment. So how can you ask them to be part of the political process? Oh, right on, I've just come out of school. I haven't even done me A levels, me sixth form, and well, I'm going to vote. Albert, you smooth talking bar steward. Rev for PM, I'd vote. Don't get me into trouble, Albert. Lib Lab Con effed everything up. What was it? The Lib Lab? No, it wasn't the Lib Lab Con. It was the Lib Lab Pact. That's the word I'm looking for. Remember that? I see you, says to Terry. He is from a long-established Pakistani family. Old money. Well, there you go. Aidan Wellsmith, I would bring in a law that no foreigners, and that includes the naturalised, get to vote. The opposite. So I would make it, I think they've got it, it's mandatory in places like Australia. You have to vote. If you don't vote, you've got to go and see somebody, and they're going to ask you why. So every single person should be voting. Because it's their, if you want to use the word constitutional, it's their constitutional right. But 16-year-olds, they can't even bloody get out of bed. They can't even make their own bed once they're out of bed. They can't get out of bed before lunchtime. 16-year-olds. So at the moment, they'll be like 12-year-old. 4 more years, 16. Oh, Jesus, man. Yeah, Amalia says the government should hold them to account if they haven't delivered on their promises or made great inroads out on the rear. Look, I think, and also, here's an idea for you. When they put all of their ideas to the public, like me and you, and they say, not constitution, what's the, what's the document that they put all of the promises in, that they, manifesto, English bottle cap, thank you, well, bloody hell. I think it's an age thing tonight, not tiredness. Thank you. So in the manifesto, every single party needs to put a manifesto forward. And the manifesto would be judged 6 months in and a year in. And if they haven't got 1 or 2 of those points in their manifesto into law in this country, we have another general election. We don't fuck about. Look, the Italians. The Italians are one of the happiest nations on the planet. And they've not even got a bloody government. They've just got people laughing and fighting with each other. So a manifesto should be a legal document. And what we need to do is say to them, right, you bunch of wrong-uns, put it in your manifesto, and then we'll have a week's debate It would be a mass debate with the whole country looking at the manifesto. And the newspapers can get involved, even though I know they wouldn't. If they haven't got any of their manifesto into law after 6 months or a year, sling your hook. Foxtrot Oscar. Off you go, Hadaway and shite. But then if they do, then that's, the promises that they've made, they've actually kept to. Lionel Lake non-rehearsed says, when I was a teenager, I wore my young Conservative badge on my lapel with pride. I wouldn't now, but wouldn't vote Labour either. David Graham, evening from the great Sunderland tonight, watching Grimsby versus Manchester United on Sky whilst watching this. Good luck with that, David. Oh, blimey. Napoleon Bonaparte. As it is here in the US, 100 days, 6 months, 1 year, but only for Donald. Oh, yeah, they want to get him out as quick as possible. The Democrats, that is. So I would suggest that the political process is done. Farage has... so the Daily Mirror is anti-Farage, saying we can do much better than this. They're talking about a school racism crisis. They're trying to say that four-year-olds are being sent home from school because they're racist. 15,000 kids sent home for discriminatory behaviour. Youngest, aged 4. Leave the kids alone. Hey, teacher. And in the Sun, there's a kind of double page where Farage has gone, right. We're going to deport 600,000 people in the first term. Now, that's 4 years maybe. So 150,000 a year. So far, the Labour Party have allowed, there's no getting around this, I'm not pussyfooting around, have allowed 111,000 to come into this country. Now, Farage has said, at the moment, nothing about the grooming gangs. I'm having to use that word because of the algorithm. And yeah, Andrew James, a load of people are homeschooling their kids because the kids are kind of coming home with this this woke ideology. And parents should be saying to the schools, Hadaway and shite. I'm sharper than that. You're not pumping that poison into my child. I'm all for live and let live, but not live and let some deviant into the class to tell them that, you're neither Arthur or I'm Arthur. So Farage, and as I always say to you, it's about the timing. So Farage has gone, right, we're going to deport 600,000 illegals in our first term. That's 150,000 a year-ish. Doing nothing about the grooming gangs. But this is at the same time that Rupert Lowe is working with Elon Musk, outing the, and as I said to you last night, 85 areas where the grooming has gone on out of 317 council areas. So seemingly, what Farage has said is nothing about the grooming gangs, but what they're going to do is they're going to pay the Afghan Taliban to take them back. And I've just thought, holy Jesus, get me a camel, get me the right garb, and I'll just say to them, oh, I'm Taliban. So all I'd do if I was the Taliban is I'd get 100,000 Afghans, send them across to this country. Farage is going to turn around and say, how many Afghans have we got? 100,000. Right, Mr. Taliban, tally me banana. We want to send 100,000 back. Can we send 100,000 back? Yeah. Give us the money. Right, not a problem. We're Britain. We take the eyes out of the taxpayers. And what we'll do is we'll send you 100,000 back. And if you take for arbitrary's sake, 1 million for each of them, then you'll have 100 million. So I'm Mr. Afghan, I'm Mr. Taliban, and I'd go, right, okay, not a problem. Send them over. I'd say to the lads, right, we're going to put you in here. There's $5,000. We'll keep the rest. So we'll put you into an Air Force base, and then we'll send you back across again. And then they'll send them back over here, and we'll get £1 million for each of you. You'll get another $5,000. So by the time we finish this malarkey, you'll be wealthy, comparatively, compared to all the other Afghans, and we've just made a shit ton. What a business model that is. And these bloody idiot politicians can't work that out. It's a great business model. Send them here, send them over, we're going to send them back and we'll pay you. I mean, am I the only cynical old tart in the body of the Kirk this evening that's not worked that out? The Taliban are going to make a shit ton of money. But can you remember the old story that I've told you about the reason why 9/11 happened? So the Americans knew that the Russians had gone into Afghanistan because they wanted the pipeline from the Caspian Sea down to a warm water port in Pakistan. So the Americans, you know, suits, dark glasses, even at night, they went and had a meeting with the Taliban. And they said, look, lads, you can either have a carpet of gold or a carpet of bombs. Entirely up to you. We would suggest you have a carpet of gold. And all we want you to do is we want you to look after the pipeline from the Caspian Sea down to a warm water port in Pakistan. Got to go through the Tora Bora mountain range, and you're the experts, so can you? And the Taliban said, who the do you think you're talking to, mate? We're the Taliban. Tally me banana. Daylight comes and I want to go home. So, you dare. Our country, Afghanistan is ours. You're not getting in there. And the Americans went, oh, all right, lads. Right, we're just asking because, you know, carpet of bombs or a carpet of gold. And you're saying no carpet of gold, so you want a carpet of bombs. We're not interested in talking to you, you bloody Americans. Filth. Off you go. They carpet bombed the Tora Bora mountain range. Aidan Wellsmith. Taliban with Geordie accents. Macam accents, yeah, wrongin'. Napoleon Bonaparte says, so we paid to bring them in and now we have to pay to return them. What a business model that is. I don't know whether Nigel's actually thought it. Honestly, he's, you know, a bit like the NatWest shares. Shorted them and made a million. I mean, he didn't have enough money to have a Coots account and now he's got enough money to have a Coots account. Where's he made these millions from then? Or bring the women and kids over and leave the blokes fight for their country. Yeah, I bet they won't, though. Tax migrants in general to pay it all. So, but this is what's going to happen. They'll send them over, say 50,000. Let's not make it a big number, comparatively. Send them across. Farage and his government, because they are going to be the next government, they'll turn around and say, right, well, lads, 50,000, right, just take all this money. Yeah. It's in readies, not in gold. You'll have to have readies. You'll have to get yourself down to some money changer in Afghanistan. Kandahar, very good. ATMs and everything, brilliant. So then they get sent back. The Taliban get paid to take them. They get sent back to Afghanistan, and the Taliban just say to the lads, right, go over again. So the same people go over again, different ID, and then the Farage government goes, oh, right, okay, we've got another 50,000. Hello, Mr. Taliban, tally me banana. Are you, will you, yeah, we'll send you more money. Thanks very much. Phone down. Another 50,000 goes back to the Taliban. The Taliban goes, oh, this is brilliant, this. Well, I mean, we're not having to do anything. We'll just keep sending blokes over. These politicians are as thick as pig shit. They just want an answer to something or give us a solution to a problem we never knew we had. We know we've got a problem with illegals, but the Taliban are just going to absolutely laugh their turbans off their head. Farage doesn't put the Navy in the channel. Oh, I'll run bum and backy the Navy. Royal Navy, not merchant. Andrew James says, but they make Jess Phillips smile. Oh, I bet. Seeing her reaction when she talks about the grooming gangs, it's almost she wishes she was... Oh, steady on, Andrew. I can't repeat that. Terry Wookford says, why would they bother bombing Tora Bora? The Trans-Afghan pipeline didn't go anywhere near Tora Bora. Well, who am I, Terry? Bloody Americans, man. They just want to bomb shit out of places. Talking of the Americans and what they're up to, and Taliban banana, can I ask you a question? Have you been watching to see what's going on with Israel? Because I know Netanyahu doesn't want to be caught out and have to go to court, and because there's all these demonstrations going on in Israel that none of the media are talking about. None. They want him in court on charges, corruption charges. Fan my brow. So there's been all these demos on the streets of Israel. But Netanyahu needs a cover story, because as long as he's a war prime minister, and maybe he wants to be taken out on his shield, maybe he's hoping that, he'll die in office. Reg D, were the carpet bombs, Axminsters. Brilliant, Reg. So Netanyahu, the Israelis have come out today, not out, obviously. They've come out today saying, yeah, there was a Hamas camera was the target. You know, the hospital attack that has been reported in the press today. Yeah, it was a Hamas camera that we were trying to blow up. Oh, it's all right. No, we were trying to blow that up. So, collateral damage, some innocents got killed. Oh, well. So Israel have claimed that the attack yesterday, it's killed more than 20 people in Gaza, in the Gazan hospital. Said it was intended to take out a Hamas surveillance camera as it defied new pleas to call off the war. So everybody's saying to Israel, oi, pack it in. No, this is 2025. Worldwide, we're a different people. We're a different set of circumstances. So stop it. But they killed 20 people that were in the Gaza hospital when it was bombed. And they said, oh, yeah, we were trying to get rid of a Hamas camera. For what? And now, Israel are saying to America, right, lads, allow a preemptive strike on Iran. Now, I told you last week or the week before that this spat between Iran and Israel isn't over, because Iran has a central bank that the Rothschilds want control of. Honestly, it's really that simple. All of this, all wars, bankers' wars. And the Rothschilds own most of the central banks around the world. So Israel, and I use that generally and euphemistically, have urged Washington, lads, let us send a few bombs over to Iran. Now, there's an Israeli colonel, Jacques Neraya. He's a former intelligence officer and a special analyst for the Middle East. He's warned a couple of days ago of an impending second round of war against Iran as Tehran weighs a revenge attack on Tel Aviv. I mean, you couldn't make this shit up. There's an evil man. I've told you before, he's one of the most evil men on this planet, Netanyahu. He's innocent Gazans are dying at the font of his ego. He doesn't want to get taken out to jail and having to face corruption charges. Israel are on the Israelis are on the streets demonstrating against Netanyahu, and they want to allow a preemptive strike on Iran. And Iran's going to turn around and say, so I've told you before, there's 9.5 million Israelis in Israel. There's nearly 100 million Iranians in Iran. And they've got wealth beyond wealth because of the oil. But Israel wants Greater Israel and to take most of the Middle East. So they're not some little country that's being mullered, see what I did there, mullered by the mullahs from the Middle East. So Netanyahu doesn't want to end up in court because he'll end up in jail. And evidently, he's not a well man. Terry Wookford says, Iran has also upgraded their air defence systems from S-300s to S-320s and 400s. Going to be a lot of Israeli casualties if they launch air attacks and enter Iranian airspace. But that's why they're doing it. Because they want a forever war that makes them money. Now, what nobody has asked, certainly here tonight, is where did the 110 billion American dollars go that America gave Israel? Remember that? Netanyahu went across to see his mates in DC and, lads, we need a few bob. Yeah, we're going to go to war. So, it'll make the American companies lots and lots of money. So give us 110 billion quid. We'll spend it on your armaments and then we'll just bomb the shit out of Iran. And everybody went, oh, the Israelis got 110 billion dollars then, did they? And remember that the Americans and the Israelis built a $300 million port just off the Gaza Strip to get aid in for the Gazans. Not so that they could drill for oil and gas in the East Mediterranean Sea and under the Gaza Strip. No. I'm being facetious. So then they said, oh yeah, we've spent $300 million on the port for aid to get it into the Gaza Strip for the Gazans, and we don't need it now. $300 million to build a port. That'll be for the gas and oil then. They're not interested in sending aid in for the Gazans, but they were interested in getting that port built by the Americans. American money. Israel's not going to pay for that. So it looks like it's all going to kick. And I predicted this a couple of weeks ago. I said to you, keep an eye on Israel because it's all going to kick off between them and Iran again. But this time, Iran might not play nicely. But there is a book called The Samson, not the Samson Objective, the Samson Option. And it's all about Israel using nuclear warheads. Because if you ask if Israel is a nuclear power, people go, no, can't talk about that. No, can't talk about that. Yes, they are. Israel runs the world. Look at what they're doing to Trump and everybody in America. And we will get to Trump in a second because he's making it very interesting in Washington, D.C. We'll get to that in a second. But I want to, when are the Iranians going to stand up to their dictator, says Rusty's Roamings? They just take you outside and shoot you dead. They don't bugger about. So that's why the Iranians are not standing up to the people that are running the country, because they will literally just take you outside and shoot you in the head. Told you the story about the Bulgarian ski resort. We picked up on a Saturday morning. It goes on around the world. And it's not like, oh, well, the newspapers will tell us. No, this is not how life works. And I know people might not like what I'm saying because it's less safe and it's less secure. But I am telling you, the world is a very dangerous place. I mean, if you look at... somebody was just... when you have people just barefacedly lying to you, and I'm talking about the political classes now, everybody, like 5 years ago, everybody just wants to do the right thing. And then we find out that actually it wasn't the right thing. We're just cash cows and guinea pigs. And they laugh in our face while they're on their private jets. Fat Lammy's gastric band having £5,000 takeaways. And there's Ed Millipede. It's been announced today that fatuous twat has gone, oh, your energy prices are going to go up. And he's not anywhere near social media, but he has said, it's this. Everybody in this country is screaming at the politicians. We're suffering. We're under the cosh. It's costing us too much. And the energy prices are going up. When the energy prices are going to go down in America, the energy prices are going to go down in Russia, the energy prices are going to go down in Hungary, the energy prices are going to go down in Iran because they have energy independence. Us, as Trump said in 2-tier, you need to be drilling for oil, mate. That's where you're going to get your energy from. Ed Millipede, can we just sort of tell him to Foxtrot Oscar, tell him to go? Because he's not gonna. I've told you before. He's the man, he's the politician that knifed his, metaphorically of course, knifed his brother in the back so he could become the leader of the Labour Party. He wasn't even Prime Minister. But knifed his own brother. I mean... He got all, and everybody thought that David Miliband was going to be the next leader of the Labour Party, but Ed had different ideas. So he went to the unions and got the unions to vote for him, and because he got all the unions, he got the leader of the Labour Party. Oh yeah, I mean, no wonder David Miliband left the country and went to America, never to come back, ish. And that man is trying to give us energy independence, net zero. Even little cockeyed Sunak turned around and says, no, we're not going to do net zero. We'll lose too much money. It'll bankrupt the country. Oh, there's young Ed playing with his ukulele. My favourite. No, I can't say that. So let's have. I'm going to get to the Notting Hill Carnival figures in a moment, but I just want, and I continually tell you this: I am sick and tired of Brand Beckham. I'm sick and tired of it. I know what he is, and I know what she is. He's a sir, she's a lady. What do you think I was going to say? Yeah, wrong. But he's in with the WEF, man. 3 years they give an award out. Sorry, 3 people per year they give an award out. He won one this year, the World Economic Forum. And what did they give him an award for? For his philanthropy. All the work that he's doing with footy courses and stuff and working with kids around the world. And then invites Gary Neville. And nobody connected it at all. Even the people on the ground in Davos didn't connect it at all. And now it's Vicky and her lipstick and eyeliner. Now, I am being facetious here, but it's anything to keep the Beckham brand in the news. It's a daily occurrence, and I'm sick and tired of it. I mean, they're only second now. Taylor Swift. Jesus H. And she's had her ring fingered today by Travis Kelce. Hello, darling. Hello. Can I give you a ring? Yes. Let me. Yes. Will you marry me? Oh, Travis, of course. I'm fucking ancient now. Yes, lovely. She sounds like David Beckham on Helium. Mephistopheles and he fisted a pig. Very funny. Sticky Vicky. Sticky Vicky. So the Beckhams are business people. But the Pelts, who Brooklyn married into, is a much better business person. He's a multi-billionaire. And Beckham's only worth hundreds of millions now, seemingly. And there's David. Oh, I met one of my heroes. Yeah, Conor McGregor. His yacht pulled up next to mine. And that's news. And I looked at the body language in the photograph. Beckham shitting himself. Trying to give him a hug. Oh, it's Conor McGregor. Hello, Conor. Hello, my name's David. And she's turning over 100 million a year in lipstick and eyeliner. Good on her. But then you've got the Nepo shit beneath them. All these bloody Nepo babies. And sorry for the language, but it really, really grinds my gears. Where people that just happen to have been lucky that their mother and father shagged and knocked them out. And what? Their purpose in life? Their passion in life? What? Goal. So there's Nepo baby Romeo. Thinks he's his dad. Nepo baby Romeo. I won't be disingenuous, but he's doing a fashion shoot. What? The actual? Do you need any talent or just looks, genes? And I don't mean the denim type. I know I take the mickey every time. Fucking hell. Stuart says, when you do the Beckham voice, I turned up the volume and my neighbour's dog started barking. I'm not doing Carol Vordenaux's next, Terry, you're wrong. I see you, Rebecca Lewis. Yeah. It's only a pig. It's TV, darling, TV. Nicky Watson, it won't be long before the billionaires, the Sir title, will make money. I can't listen to him. That's why I do the Beckham voice, because it's fucking annoying. No, I'm not. No, I'm not intelligent enough to do Diane Abacus. So I want to say thank you to the anonymous emailer who well just puts me right every now and again. I don't know who I'm thinking of, but in the papers today, they're talking about the Notting Hill Carnival and how the crime stats are down this year. So I'm going to read you what I received in my inbox. Oh, and if you're wondering about Notting Hill, there was a lot more crime than the Met reported. So as I've said to you, if you want an example, Tony Blair and his government, they counted the male heads coming into this country and then the female heads and the kids when they're going out. Don't get me going about net migration, because it's just all bullshit. And Notting Hill Carnival. The anonymous emailer is going to explain to you how the Met reported that there had been a fall in crime at the Notting Hill Carnival this year. So if you hear anything about crime, they might not have included it, or some of them, in the stats. It's because, in the anonymous emailer's view, the Met cheated. That's the Metropolitan Police, Metpol. The stats are prepared for incidents happening within a specific area. The Metropolitan Police, adjusted the footprint for the stats. So they reduced the area they class as crime in Notting Hill to the actual carnival routes and 2 doors down any side streets. Consequently, the 2 stabbings that resulted in murders last year would not have been included in the stats this year, being in Powis Terrace and Oxford Gardens, which both cross the parade routes. So a better indicator for stabbings would be to wait for the A&E incident reports from St Mary's Emergency Department in a month or so's time. St Mary's is the local A&E department, and if someone walks in or is dropped off having been a street surgery victim, they don't call in the plod unless the casualty wants the police involved. Now, this anonymous emailer has been told, whilst arrests were up, all crimes were also up on last year, including stabbings, rapes, sexual assaults, and murders significantly up. But because of the changes to the footprint, they won't be included in the Met figures. So, as this emailer puts it, nice way for Khan to get the figures he wanted to push for more facial recognition. No shit, Sherlock. It's all perception versus reality. The public's perception, crime figures are down. Notting Hill Carnival goes again next year. But the reality is, as this anonymous emailer has said, all crimes were also up on last year, including stabbings, rapes, sexual assaults and murders significantly up. But that's not the way they're reporting it in the press. And these fucking journos, they're not even journos. They just rewrite press releases. So if it's in a press release and they can rewrite it, wonderbar. That's funny, Neil. Talking to Stu, he says, my cat goes DEFCON 2 when the Beckham voice starts. Hunt the banana. Oh, Mephistopheles, are you offering? I want to talk to you about the Orange Man, the Trump. And the reason why I want to talk to him is it's 5D chess. So you've got to watch what they're up to. And what he does is he does it in baby steps. So the Democrats, what are the Democrats up to? I'm going to tell you. And what's Trump doing? Well, Trump wants the death penalty in DC. You know what that is, don't you? So when he was in court for lawfare, they wouldn't allow him presidential immunity. So let's have a think. Oh, bugger me sideways. Former presidents, are they going to end up in court? And is this administration going to ask for the death penalty? I wonder who that could be. Obama. Wonder who else that could be. Biden. So Trump wants the death penalty in Washington, D.C. And he's saying, and I quote, I've got no choice but to revive the death penalty in Washington, D.C. So he plans to pursue reviving the death penalty in Washington for those convicted of murder amid his crime crackdown in the nation's capital. I mean, hang on a second, I wanted to tell you something else. I thought I added it. Let me just check, see if I've got, because I probably haven't. No, I didn't put it in my notes. Bugger. I'll have to do the Democratic stuff. I'll leave again. I just wanted to get the Trump to you, but the Trump information about him wanting the death penalty in DC, because you know he'll just roll it out around the rest. But the all of the politicians in DC will be absolutely bricking it. Were you aware of the headlines that happened yesterday around Rachel from Accounts wanting to go cap in hand to the IMF? Same as Dennis Healy. They always have to go and beg for money because evidently they can't spend enough. The taxes that we give them, simply not enough. So they want billions in their trouser pocket. They just want, it's a corrupt system. The system has to be taken away, broken, and rebuilt. But the politicians are so corrupt, they're just not interested. So we now find out today that there's even more begging politicians in Europe than there is in this country. France is now facing a 2.85 billion euro debt explosion. France is going to go to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Now, it's not some organisation, some benign organisation where you can just go with a card like an ATM and go, how many billion do I want? Is 100 billion all right? Yeah. Put the card in, get the wadge out, and go back to Labour HQ and say, lads, we've got 100 billion. I see you, says IMF, gangster loans you can't refuse, I'm sure. Stuart says, breaking news, US officials give update as FBI investigates Minneapolis school shooting as domestic terrorism and hate crime. So Trump's not buggering about in DC. Macron is looking for nearly 3 billion because he's going to get a massive debt explosion from the government. And then Rachel from Accounts, she wants 50 billion. That moron. She's a moronic person, MP. Both of them are heading to the IMF. So this is how it works. Government spending. They come to you and go, we've got any money. And we go, okay. How much are we down? 50 billion. Right, okay. So can we not, what about the nearly 12 billion that we pay Africa every year? So in 4 years, that would fill that 50 billion pound black hole. And they're like, no. You're the taxpayer, you're the cash cow. Shut the fuck up and get on with your work. Give us your taxes and give us your national insurance, and then give us the tax that we're going to charge you in VAT, and then give us the tax that we're going to pay on money you've spent on stuff and the money that's already been taxed once, so we're going to tax you again. Oh, and by the way, if you're going to sell anything that you bought to make any money back because we're taxing you too much, we're going to tax you on that as well. Good accountants save people's money, bad accountants lose people's money. So I just think that it's about keeping an eye on these feckers. So I'm going to give you some good news now. Apart from, you know what Neuk is in German, don't you? N-E-U-K. You can Google it, get a translate on it. Andrew James at the Laird Wookfit, taxed 85 pence in every pound. Sorry. So the good news is, to kind of give us a bit of light and shade. Yeah, good news, Dave. Good news. Elon Musk is making a bold move. Very bold move. So Elon Musk is promising to fund legal cases against officials who failed over grooming gangs. So the richest man in the world has just put the Labour government and the Tories on notice. He's going to fund legal cases against council officials, political officials, the police, anybody who failed over the grooming gangs. So Elon Musk has stepped in after, as I was saying to you last night on the live, the unofficial inquiry alleging child exploitation at 85 UK councils. Gave you all the facts and figures last night. So Musk is stepping in. He wants to protect the kids. He wants to protect the teenage girls and everybody because of the failure of the officials, whatever hue, whatever make, whatever political persuasion they are. They've failed the kids. And in Scotland, in Scotland, they're failing the kids left, right and centre. But it's all right. Jimmy Cranky's got an autobiography out. You can go and buy it if you want. It'll be full of drivel. But Musk is doing the right thing. He's going to back everybody. Where are we? I'm going to put this on your radar very quickly. And the reason why I'm putting it, Ginger Gang Green Growler, yeah. I sincerely hope Musk keeps his word on that. It says Rusty's Roamings, and I see you says not just failed, he's after the top brass who took their part. Oh, yeah. They're not going to be able to cover this up. He's got unlimited money. Unlimited money. He's worth hundreds and 400 and odd billion. Closest to him's only worth a couple of 100 billion. So he's doubly rich than the next man on the rich list. But the reason why I want to... no way. Rusty's Roaming says, oh, the hypocrisy. After Cranky slagged England off, she now wants to live in London. Oh, dear Lord. Look, I love the Scots. I love Scotland. Please keep her over there, the other side of fucking Adrian's wall. We don't want her down here. We don't want her down in my nation's capital. We don't want her coming down the A1 anywhere near the northeast. Holy Jesus, there'll be people out on the streets. She could go to Brighton, though. She'll love it there. Let me tell you about Germany, because they're not reporting this. None of the newspapers are reporting it. None. Zilch. Zip. Nix. Nada. Absolutely none of them. What? Oh, Germany is niked. The German industry, or industrial nation if you wish, has shedded 250,000 jobs. And the German economy is tanking. And it's taking Europe with it, which is why the Europeans need us, all the money and the gold. They need us. And don't the Germans own the... They own some of the City Mile. Dave Johnson says, my YouTube's weird tonight. Well, I think it's because of the stuff we're talking about, Dave, honestly. But Germany, its economy is tanking. The number of people employed in German industry has also declined by 2.1%. Now, that might not sound much, but that's in the second quarter. And it's declined an extra 2.1% to 5.43 million. Compared to 6 years ago, the workforce contracted by 4.3%, with roughly about the same, 245,000 jobs lost since 2019. And there's us. We've got 5.6 million unemployed in this country. Fucking hell. And the grafters, the workers, are paying for the shirkers. So Germany, who, remember, I told you about the pipeline from the Black Sea all the way along through sort of North Yugoslavia, Slobodan Milosevic, he had a meeting with the Americans. Americans said, look, Slobodan, we want to build a pipeline from the Black Sea all the way through Central Europe, across the top of Yugoslavia, all the way through Central Europe to power the German economy. And Slobodan says, what? Yeah. What we're going to do is going to build a pipeline, Black Sea, through top of Yugoslavia, which you obviously run, don't you, Slobodan? I do. Yeah, so we're going to build it all the way to Germany to power the German economy. There's like hundreds of years worth of gas and oil under the Black Sea. It'll keep Europe and everybody very, very wealthy. And Slobodan said, have I just heard you right? You said that you're going to run a pipeline through my country. Lads, Fox to Oscar. Now, get out. I'm in charge. And the Americans are like, Slobodan, it's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. And then a few months later, he finds himself in jail. And me, finds himself in jail having a heart attack. Dead. Gone. No more. But they never built the pipeline from the Black Sea yet. Was that what Ukraine was all about? The pipeline from the Black Sea through northern Yugoslavia, through Central Europe, into the German economy. The German economy is tanking. Last time it did this, 80 years ago, 90 years ago. So just mark my words, because Germany is in terminal decline. And the EU, Ursula von der Leyen bitch, they want Germany to be healthy so they can make a few bob. But if they can't, then we'll just bring Great Britain back into the fold and we'll just rape all their money and gold. Lovely. The Druzhba pipeline is currently shut down or very reduced due to Ukraine attacking its infrastructure over the last few days. Funnily enough, Hungary is a member of NATO. So does that mean... It does, Laird Wookfit. It means that it's all going to kick off, because it's all of this is bankers' wars and energy independence, whether it's Russia and Crimea, whether it's America and all their fracking. There's little Nige. Hello, everyone. My name's Nigel. Yes. Anybody going to buy me a pint? I'm just the average man that comes into a pub and has a beer bought for me by, well, supporters, really. I mean, I can't buy everyone a drink, but I'm happy to take one for the team. He said, oh, yeah, we're going to start fracking. And we, the royal family and everybody else were like, yeah, we're into fracking, that'll make us a load of money. And then all of a sudden there were safety concerns and they weren't going to do the fracking. But Nige is going to get the fracking started again because the Americans are doing fracking. Look, Nige is just going to use Trump's playbook. That's all. It's really easy. The British politician is as thick as pig shit, because they just copy everybody else. No new ideas, none whatsoever. I mean, obviously, Nige is a very clever puppy because he's made loads of that. Multi-millionaire young Nige. So he's very sharp. But following Trump's playbook, that's a very good English bottle cap. Farage can frack off. Very good. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed the live this evening. I'm going to take a couple of days off. Not because I'm a slacker or anything, but I just need to catch me breath, I think. There will be some videos coming, hopefully before Sunday, but the next live is Sunday. Please smash the likes on your way out. Oh, you've been a tough audience tonight. We've got nearly 200 people watching and less than 100 likes. So please, if you can, Terry Wookfit, you're wrong. But if you can, thank you, Stuart, as always. Again, thank you for your continued support. So if you could smash the likes on the way out, that would help with the YouTube algorithm. It'd be interesting to see if what you've been saying in the comments that hasn't come through. But either way, Neil Cunningham, cheers, Adrian. Great live. Stay safe, everyone, and have a good weekend. My thoughts exactly. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, but most of all, your indulgence. My name's Adrian Allen. Be safe. Stay well. Whatever you do, wherever you go, make sure you take emergency Battenberg with you. It's always wise. And a little altar wine, just in case you need emergency supplies or a little small tincture to keep you going. But as I've said to you many times, this is not a show. This is a mission. And we go again Sunday, starting at 7:15, but we get into the malarkey 7:30. See you then. Enjoy your weekend.